I ain't talking far, maybe go predict my future. Defend all the leaks in my own. If you want, already dead, if you're blind from my head to the sea of your head. If you want, already dead, there was me born to life.
My name is Clancy. I'm hailing out of the Boston area, and I am so glad to be in Worcester, Mass tonight. Can y'all make some fucking noise? Yeah. Not good enough. One more time. Can y'all make some fucking noise? Yeah. All right, man. Let's start this off. All right, for this first track, y'all want to turn the beat up just a tad bit? For this first track, I got a female singer on it. Obviously, there's no female singer, so we're gonna make it work. Turn the beat up just a smidgen. Thank you. Alright, this is how we're gonna do it, ready? Check. Yo, she got a mattress on the floor. Sleeps till the afternoon. Mirrors with residue in my... So wind me up, watch me go. I grab the band and lock you low. Your average can is not this, so I want to brag, and that's what I'm told. Since everyday's not so hey, I'ma just go get sick crying. With my brain and my pencil game, I'm about to make hip-hop chances change. I'm a murderer more, but got the similar to money you never heard of before. And rest of your jaw, lead you to a vertical control. It's a song when I'm writing down the words we saw. I be going so hard, I think I should be warm. Dropping at a bomb, somebody think you're wrong.
My name is EJ Elijah Jacob, and I like to make music. Honestly, I remember when I was younger, it was me and my boys. We used to be chilling outside, and this is when Wild 'N Out just came out, the Cannon show. And at the end, you know how they always used to have like that wild style freestyle battle, and me and my boys used to do that on the street. And I was the nicest one. Like, I don't care what anybody says, I was the nicest one, man. I was only like 10, 11, everybody else was 16, 17, and I was just trashing everybody. So just getting like that boost, like everyone just, yo, like that shit's great. Like, it just made me feel good, and I just started writing music after that. I really like to just make music that people can relate to. You know, I like to talk about a lot of relationships, relationship problems, feelings, being depressed, happy, emotions, just everything, man. Like, I just want people to relate to me on a different level, you know what I mean? And just really understand who I am. The hip-hop scene in Worcester is pretty dope, man. There's a lot of talent out here. There's tons of talent. It's unbelievable. Currently, I know there's a few people trying to work together, and there's a lot of people just doing their own thing. But the majority of people support each other, which is dope, because at the end of the day, we're like each other's outlet, you know what I mean? But yeah, the music is just crazy. Not even with hip-hop, just like all types of music out here is just insane.
We're at Distant Castle right now. It's an underground collective. This is an all-accepting environment, you know, like the bands here, they come from all over, and tons of people are always coming to like play in Worcester. You know, you never know where the people are going to be from.
My name is Josh Holden, and I play the synthesizer in the band It's myself and my good friends Josh Trombley, Eve Baldelli, and Charles Gear. And we've been friends for a really long time. We've all kind of done the band thing separately, and a few years ago we found ourselves kind of not doing any projects, and we figured like, hey, let's do a friends band. And I think that we'd all agree that it's like our favorite project that we've been involved with so far. The last band I was in before this, I had a really good time with it. Like, we did some things that I wouldn't have been able to do in my life otherwise. Like, that last band, we went on a tour across the country and stuff.
Yeah, all right, I first got into it when I was 11 years old. My friend had just moved into a new house, and he had this extra office space in the back of his house, and he started throwing punk shows in the back of it, you know?
My name's Nori Needle. We are currently in the back building behind my house, and it's like a garage, but it has 2 stories, and on the second floor is Negi, which is a sober all ages music venue that I run.
Yo, Negi was the spot. I met so many cool people and bands at Negi. I met you through Negi because your band played there. Hell yeah.
So it kind of started off me using the space for shows. I was like 12. And we were like, oh, let's do movie screenings here. And one of the friends who we were working on the movies with, Aiden Duffy, he was in like a hardcore band. And you're like, oh, why don't you like play after the movie? So that happened. You're like, whoa, sick! Like, this is great. And then one of our friends who like was more involved in the music scene was like, hey, you should have like more bands like come play here. This is awesome. This is a great space. So we like continued to do it, and then my brother moved out, and it kind of like fell on me to continue it. And then it kind of just like grew into something that I love doing, booking shows, just like getting bands together and cultivating like a good environment and a good space for like people to hang out and have fun.
This is Distant Castle. It's one of Worcester's punk houses, collective houses with it's got what's the word? Longevity? Yeah, okay, there we go. Along with the Firehouse, which is 5 minutes away down the street that way. Those are the 2 kind of like cornerstones of the Worcester house show culture. And we got lots of friends living here, like, and Charles and Eve actually both live at the Firehouse, the other place I mentioned. But there's just a good community surrounding these houses, and like just really friendly people. Really good shows get put on. It's one of the things that makes Worcester a very special city. It's the community, the collectives.
Just, you know, seeing all the friendly faces and all the cool people that I know and that I know will be out here in these places, and all the new faces that I'm going to meet, you know, because there's always some rad people coming around these places.
It's a rich scene with a full history. Like, it's been going strong for a long time. Worcester's, dating back to like the 70s and stuff with Wormtown. Like, punk's always been a very big part of this city. And like, it's nice to be in a place where that didn't like fully fade out, you know?
The Worcester local scene's fucking awesome if you can find it, yo. You can find all-inclusive environments of open-minded people, and you can have fun, and be responsible in a safe place, yo, and just have a good old time and have good old neighborly time.
I try to create it more inclusive by been more specifically targeted towards younger people, like high school age people. Since I started the space when I was like 12, and now I'm like almost 18. Like I found at like the Palladium and stuff can be like end up really crowded and claustrophobic, and like can be like full with a bunch of like shitty dudes and like loud people who like aren't afraid to like push you around and mess with you. So that can be like a traumatic for a lot of people. So I kind of try and make a space where like people who like don't really feel comfortable in more mainstream venues can come and feel comfortable. So that's like important to me to be able to provide that for people. There's like no drugs or alcohol here, then young people could feel safe coming. And like I want it to be like a policy, be like, hey, if your like parents need to call me, like they can call me and I'll call them up, because I want you to come and be able to have like a space where like you can like just come and hang out and not have to be just like stuck at home because you don't have anywhere to go and hang out and meet new people. Club, but I wanted to kind of create more of like an alternative radical space to kind of like help radicalize the youth in Worcester and kind of like open their eyes to more like community action and like activism and like anarchism and stuff like that. So I felt like that was super important because a lot of spaces, like when you walk in, like when I was younger, like walking into like the Firehouse or something, like it was really cool for me, but then I would be like that was the older people, like I feel super alienated, so I wanted to kind of have it be like, hey, like come here, like I'm super young, like if you're super young, it would totally be cool, like people won't mess with you, it's totally fine. So that's kind of like what was super important to me about the space specifically, yeah.
So I believe it was sophomore year of high school. Our principal, Dan St. Louis, great guy, got us into Guitar Club. And that was a little club he started by himself. And it was about like 5 of us. And he slowly started getting us into the other side, rock.
It also goes back to around the time when I first started playing guitar and first got into playing music. I heard an album called Satisfaction is the Death of Desire by a band called Hatebreed. I knew one of their later songs from MTV's Headbangers Ball, which was still going in the early 2000s, and I saw a CD at a store marked down to like $8 or something like that, and I knew the band was cool but had never heard any of the songs, so I took a chance and bought the CD, and when I heard that, it knocked me on my ass, and I never knew that music could do that.
Centralized hardcore is the best thing in the world.
That's the hardest thrash metal in Massachusetts, that's for sure.
It's just like an escape from like your everyday reality where you're just like not being like systemically oppressed and like everyone's like an equal to you. People treat you with respect and like your friends look out for you, and it's just like an environment where you can like let out all this negativity, all this anger, and like a positive environment.
Like I'm forcing you in that instance to see the demons that I have to battle every day when I wake up in the morning. And I like that because people, they don't shy away from it. Like at other shows, if you see someone get up on stage and they pour out all their emotional passion and they talk about their demons and all this stuff that happens to them, like talk about their traumas, people are like, ugh. At a hardcore show, everyone's like, yo, I respect that. I've gone through a lot of trauma in my life as well too. I like that.
The expression of so much pent-up aggression and negativity, but through a seemingly positive outlet that, you know, creates something relatable for a lot of other people. I got really into that early on, and I always thought that was really interesting. And I guess a whole other side of that is what keeps me involved today.
Mistakes you have made, and disappointments to follow you to the grave. And I know that I'd be such a disappointment, I would have strangled myself in the wound. Umbilical cord wrapped around my neck, I pull it tight until my head would explode. If I knew that I would let you down so hard, I would never have bothered. On my own time, one by one, like now, line up for slaughter.
Get into it.
Playing. Oh, we had a love, that love was record breaking.
If I could show people like that I can do it, anybody else can do it, man. It's really not that hard. Like, you could just sit behind a computer and just practice on some stuff. That's all it really takes. You practice and you can become a pro. Well, I remember ever since I was a young kid, man, like, I used to be bringing up the pots and the pans from my fucking underneath the stove, you know what I mean? Just bringing them on the floor and just playing, like, beats, just trying to make beats. Like, I always had that music background, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, I've done a couple shows. I performed at The Raven, Electrical Haze. Back when I was with this group, Chubby Life.
Put in work, so we gotta do no bluff. Get up on this earth, worry about it, gon' hear us. I swear I'm getting tired of the same stuff. Chubby Life mob, we coming up.
We actually opened up for Fora, which was really dope, because right now he's doing his thing, man, like getting some crazy love out there. Shout out to Fora. And we opened up for him, and I was out in Cambridge and Massachusetts, Boston area, and that was dope, man. That was honestly dope. Recently, I've been not really focused too much on shows. It's not like I'm nervous or anything. It's just like, I don't know. I've been just really trying to focus on my craft, you know what I mean? Really trying to get like that sound together before I go out there. And I've done shows, like I said, but I really want to hit people hard, you know what I mean? I don't want to just step on stage and on a shitty mic and just rap, you know? Like, I really want to have a crazy show. So I'm really cutting back on performing until I get that situated. But for the most part, if I'm not writing a song, man, like, producing is definitely my favorite. That's all I'll do. I just love to produce, like. Like I said, I'm still working on it. It's just a draft. Like, I kind of got the idea of it, though. It's just like, I don't even really know how to go over this shit. I'm still like trying to do the process. The sky's with you and me. Hey, I've fallen in the stream. I mean, some shit like that. You looked right back for more. But then you slammed the door. Yeah. So ride it up, hit me up tomorrow if you ride it up. And then say what the mind is done. Yeah, I've been soft. No, I've been soft. Hit 'em with the say like I've been lost. Mom been lost in the game, though. I ain't really doing shit but the fame, ho. I ain't even say what the, I don't know, there's some like shit like that, you know what I mean? Like I said, I like making all different types of music, man. Whether it's rap or just some shit like this. Like, this is just a draft, but
I go by New Element. You know, I'm a student of hip hop. I make beats, I MC, I do graph, you know, I'm just all about the culture.
I gotta shout my producers out. Your producers that I fuck with, you know, like Doom and shit. Villa, DJ Premier, Alchemist, Just Blaze, Ice Tech. Who else I fuck with? Knife Wonder, you know, producers like that. That's why I do this shit, cause I'm trying to be up there with the greats.
Yeah, I was 9, and then on I haven't really stopped. I always from that day, basically, I watched the episode of MTV Cribs, and it was Scott Storch, and I saw him, and all the luxurious things he had, and he told people he made like $80,000 for a beat, and I was like, I could do that, you know, like why can't I sell my beats for $80,000 and live good? So I was like, let me just work on it. People know who you are, you know. Like I remember I've done some shows and I've had people tell me that like they've really felt my music, like they felt my songs. I love producing for people. I just want the credit where it's due. When people are like, yo, I heard your beat. I can't get the beat out of my head. I've listened to it all day. You know, things like that. Just want to be a part of people's daily routine when they bump music.
My name is Burke Blanco, and I rap.
Bitch, I'm a car. Shower got spinning the see-through facade. Mama said smoking mirrors on mirage. So pull out a gun and then shoot for the star. Hey, I'm going hard. Hit a bass and all the pain in my...
I came to Worcester almost 3 years ago now, and I moved into the Chubby Life house, and that was like a house for like 9 to 10 rappers. So you know, it was easy. Like everybody was like making music, so that was like a normal thing, so it kept me focused.
Yeah, I love Worcester, man. Worcester makes me who I am. I've been to a lot of places in the world, but it's no place like home, and that's very true. There's a lot of culture in Worcester that people don't see, but you gotta experience it firsthand to actually know Worcester.
My sound, what I listen to now is I listen to the radio a lot, and I understand that hip-hop is changing to the point where mumble rap is like hip-hop nowadays in our generation. So what I generally do is I go for the sound of the radio, but I try not to mumble. So I'm trying to just get the industry sound. So right now I'm like figuring out how to use my auto-tune. But like the beat selection I have is crazy. Like if you guys hear these songs, like you'll be like, oh my god. Like
beats come and go. You know, I've sold a lot of beats, but mainly I do it for the love. Most of my homeboys, I believe in them, so I give them beats and encouragement. And if I really believe in somebody, then I'm like, hey, take this beat, do something with it. But money-wise, I've made money off of it. It's why I do it, but it's not the main reason I do it. It's fun selling beats, but it's hard because people, they don't want to invest in themselves like they should. Or, they, you know, they don't think that buying beats is something important. They be like, well, I could just get it for free. So you could get the free beats, but it's not going to be a new element beat. You know, that's what I tell them. So, like, if you value a product, invest in it.
Well, before we was Chubby Life, we was, what was it? NSD. And then that was with, like, Tunji and shit. And then Tunji had, like, left NSD. Now he's, like, famous or whatever. And then everybody got mad. And I was just, like, I was rapping, but I wasn't really serious about it. And then I guess I was only serious about it until I came out here because they were so serious about it. So I was just like, you know, I'm pretty good at it. Why not? And then, I don't know, I really wanted it for myself at that point. So, like, you know, I came this far doing it, might as well, like, all the way, you know.
Yeah, I think everybody's trying to be too different, but they put themselves in a box of trying to be different. Whereas they should just be themselves. You know, everybody wants to be on a team, which I understand, because, you know, why would you want to be in a team with people who do the same thing as you? But I feel that people just, you know, need to be their own leader and not look for others to help them out all the time. Or just be more creative and just be yourself. You know, that's all I really have to say about the Worcester music scene.
I don't have an issue with Worcester artists. Everybody really, like, likes each other's music. It's just, you know, like, it's a pride thing. People don't want to reach out first and say, hey, what's up? I like your song. But, you know, when we, like, all come together and have shows and stuff, it's all love. Everyone, like, speaks to each other. It's, like, a normal thing.
I like the teamwork that I do see though, and the support system. Worcester has a great support system. It's like anything else you do. It takes time. It's like a puzzle. When I make beats, I sample. I like to sample because, like I said earlier, you witness other genres of music within the samples, and a lot of people don't know that a lot of beats are sampled. People tend to talk down upon sampling, but it's an art, and it's a lost art. It's like anything you do, and there's a lot of different arts. You know, hip hop is an art, so it's a religion. It's what I really go by. But yeah, I love sample based beats. I can make any type of beat, pop, R&B, some hype beat, trap beat, but I like that good old classic boom bap. You know, that's what I'm known for, and that's my style, and that's never gonna change. And if you don't like the boom bap style, I don't know. I don't like when people be like, oh, make me a beat like this or like that. Like, it's good reference, but it's like, you're coming to me. If you want a beat like that, and go to Timberland or some shit.
Honestly, it's the love for the music, man. Like, there's nothing like it. Honestly, when I sit behind this kit and just like zone out. Honestly, dude, like I was always kind of like that kid, just drumming on tables and just like, you know, making a beat out of nowhere. So when he actually like brought in the drum set and I actually like, you know, sat down and got a little bit comfortable with it, I never looked back, you know. It honestly became my thing. And I honestly didn't know that I was gonna fall in love with it, or at the time fall in love with it. But it became like our all, like, and we gave everything to the scene and to the music itself. So we slowly started, you know, messing around with different sounds, different, you know, tones, and Kristi was honestly, you know, messing around with just like different things on the guitar, because honestly with drums you can only go so far, you know, to basically making noise, but accurate noise. So it was his, you know, his riffs that led us into the hardcore scene.
Being into death metal, I met metalcore kids naturally, and then they took me to a metalcore show, and then for some reason Terror was on the bill, so then I learned about hardcore.
When I come to, you know, say here to play a show, when I go anywhere to be at a hardcore show, it's a totally other side of the world for me, and it's, you know, it's an outlet. It's somewhere to let go of everything that you don't like about your day-to-day life. And for me, making music that I'm able to really focus and take time and care with lyrics to be able to communicate everything that I have to say that I'm not able to say in my day-to-day life. That's what keeps me going with this. What's going on?
About local music in Worcester.
Fucking right. That band's not from Worcester, but you know, whatever.
My name is Chris Bettencourt. This is the Raven Music Venue in Worcester, Massachusetts. Pretty much a lot of hardcore. They're interesting. They're crazy. They're good for the most part. Gator King, Steve Sylvester is usually one that we go through for the most part to book some of that stuff. So I mean, it's what the younger kids like these days, and we do a lot of it.
Do you feel like it's taken a toll on your venue at all?
There's good, yeah. There's positives and negatives. So I mean, I guess the positives, everybody has a good time and everybody likes the music. They like the bar, and negatives is occasionally something will get broke here and there. But
Hardcore dancing is like this weird thing where like people, instead of like dancing, they're like just like flailing their body parts, and like a lot of people make fun of it, but like once you go to a show, it's like a different feeling. It's not like what you see on the internet where people make memes and fun of people moshing and stuff like that. It's kind of different than that. It's also like in its own way almost scary, because like people do get hit. People that are in the crowd, they do get hit. People crowd kill, as they say, and hit other people just like for no reason. But realistically, the reason is because like they're letting this anger out, and like the music is just makes your blood boil almost. It just makes you want to like hit people.
Somebody actually picked up a bar stool and just chucked it across, and it just became like a huge kind of like a huge commotion, like a huge fight. And when that happens, like everybody kind of gets into it, and that's when, you know, things kind of go wrong.
But fighting at a hardcore show is generally frowned upon. Like it's not a cool thing to do or whatever, and usually everybody gets pissed off at whoever starts shit, because again, this is our outlet. This is, you know, where we're able to escape from everything that we don't like about our regular lives. And you know, when somebody jeopardizes the place that you're able to do that at locally, or the place that allows shows to go on, you know, such as the Raven here in Worcester, then a lot of people get pissed off.
They come and that's their way of showing, you know, that's their way of getting their anger out. You don't know what these kids go through on a daily, and like I said before, music is, you know, a universal language, and for a lot of these kids, that's therapy.
For the most part, the crowd polices themselves. Usually people will get angry at them and tell them to leave, and either they will or they won't, and then the shit pile just grows higher.
I don't know, it's just like every genre has their own. They have like classical music, people just sit around or a ballroom dance and like do all this random stuff. But then there's like hardcore, you know what I mean? And like where people go around hitting each other, pushing each other, but it's like it's all love, you know what I mean?
There's a place and a time for most things. And if you're at like an indie rock or a pop punk show or whatever, and you're that one douchebag moshing really hard when nobody else wants a part of it, that's not the time or the place for it. But much the same if somebody that's used to only going to more laid back shows, you know, for those genres or you know, some other, and they're not used to what happens when they show up to a hardcore show, they need to at least be aware of what they're walking into and understand that that's the sort of thing that goes on. And if they don't like it, it was, you know, an unofficial institution that's been established for a very long time already, and if they don't like it, they can choose to not be part of it, or they can choose to warm up to it and get over it.
I've been seeing shows since like 2007 in Central Mass, and it's been the same old. Like, it goes really well, it peaks and then climaxes, and everybody breaks up, and then everybody hates each other, and then everybody gets back together. The bands do great for like a good year and a half, and then breaks up, and everybody hates each other again. And I've been stuck in this since 2007. It's crazy.
For me, it was like 12, 13. My brother and my dad used to listen to like AC/DC, Metallica, so it kind of like rolled on me. My first Palladium show, which is like my first like hardcore show or whatever you could say, was when I was 14. So after that, it kind of just snowballed. I found more bands that I liked and more music I kind of related to, and just kind of that's why I'm here.
I was a sophomore, and one of my friends was into it. She was like, "Hey, come out, there's a show." The Raven was my first show, so got into it. Knew a bunch of people in the bands that I didn't know were in bands, then just kind of went on from there.
It's socially one of the best things to ever happen to me, probably.
Central Mass Hardcore has been basically my weekend life and weekday life for the past 6 years. It's pretty sweet. I've always felt welcome. It's always a good place to go and, you know, get out the aggression and, you know, have some fun with friends.
You meet a lot of people through it. It's sick, so people in like your area that you never knew that were into it. Find out they live down the street, go to the same school as you, stuff like that. So it's
Make
nice
friends.
to be able, yeah, make friends. Nice to be able to bond through something.
Yeah, I found real people. I hung out with a lot of phonies and a lot of rats in high school.
Worcester, Massachusetts is a pretty fucked up city, and if you're someone who's a musician who's either grown up here or been washed over by like all the different sins of this city, you end up being like a stronger, more beautiful human being.
found it as like an outlet to stay off the streets, like, and doing like stupid stuff, like getting involved with gangs or like doing the wrong thing.
There's certain neighborhoods you can't even fucking walk through as a kid now because of just fucking gang activity. It's fucking crazy right now. And like when I grew up in the 90s, it was crazy. It's just as crazy as it was back then. But from that craziness, you get a really cool hardcore scene, which sort of died off. A lot of things happened, and it's not as strong as it used to be, but I do see like the strength coming back. And that's with Worcester. Like you see things fall off in Worcester, but then you see the city and the people of that city like rise up to force something new, whether it's based on all the different cultures or it's just like they're promoting something positive. It happens. And
the music is its own scene and the gang scene is its own scene, and it's not really blending, but most of the gang scene are in the music scene, so that would be the only way it's blended. It wouldn't, like, it's only an issue if you're involved in it, but it's also an issue if they're around. So it's like, it's hard to say though, but the music is always gonna just be the music, you know?
Well, there's like a gang aspect to hardcore. It's like a crew mentality. It's just like, yo, like, my crew, like, don't fuck with my boys or we're gonna fuck you up. But like for me, I don't look at it as like a crew mentality. I just look at it as like, that's my friend getting beat up right now, yo, like I gotta help him out, you know what I mean? But it's not like there's like crew versus crews and stuff like that going on in Worcester, at least not in Worcester, like from what I've seen.
It's really preferential. It's how much of an influence does it have on you as a person? Do you feel that because you chose to live your life a certain way, are you above other people? You know, that really is some friend makers right there and some friend losers, because kids will act very differently because of something that we claimed and something that means a lot to us. And my closest friends in the world, most of them aren't straight edge. So it's cool though when it means something to you personally. Like to me it means a lot. So like I'm going to Edge Day next weekend. I'm gonna see Floor Punch for the first and probably only time in my life. I'm really excited. Casey from Philly is coming up. Shouts out to Casey, shouts out to On Patrol.
I know it's the cool shit to get high. Like I love smoking, but it's like just smoke and that's it. Sometimes the music these days it promotes is negative, you know, and it's poisoning the youth. Some of the music out these days, not all music, but some music. And as an entertainer and as a student of hip hop, you just want to give good pure music to the people. You know, this is for the kids. I want my little brother to see me and make a beat with me. You know, get inspired. I just want to inspire the children. That's what it's really about. It's for the children.
There's absolutely no issues if you ask my personal opinion with drugs and alcohol. Again, it's like, to me, to be completely sober and go do the damn thing is perfectly fine, whereas for you or a friend to get fucking cocked and go do the damn thing, that's sick. So, respect.
And I mean, as far as Worcester itself goes, I mean, Worcester is the major city of the central part of Massachusetts. I mean, this is a good central location where pretty much anybody that lives in what, you know, we know as Worcester County or central Massachusetts, whatever, can drive about half an hour and be at a show and be meeting up with other people from all over the place here.
I appreciate all the love, man, for real. Before we get into this last track, man, like, I might tell you guys like a little something about myself, like where I come from. So like 3 years ago today, like I was hopelessly addicted to heroin at 18 years old. Like I had accepted the fact that I was gonna die or I was gonna rot in jail for the rest of my life. And now 3 years later at age 21, I'm here with y'all and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world right now. For real, man, I'll have 3 years sober in December, and hip-hop played a major part in that. I've always wanted meaning in my life, and I've always wanted to be accepted, and like this was the only outlet that I could ever use. And it's proven itself, man. I don't smoke weed, I don't drink, I don't do nothing. I do this hip-hop shit, man. You know what I mean? It's all about spreading love and spreading those positive vibes, man. And like sometimes you feel like running. Sometimes you feel like running, and I'm a testament to the fact that you don't have to run, regardless of what it's from, man, whether you're dealing with depression, whether you're dealing with some bullshit, or whether you are, in fact, a drug addict. Like, you don't have to fucking live that way. Facts.
I've been that nigga since a young. Been thugging on the playground. No, but now a nigga getting off. There ain't much you can say now.